Yo, 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 what up, what up? Talking about Litecoin today. Well, because the halving's coming up in August, so I figured we'd make another video on it since the last video showed a little bit of interest in Litecoin. So dove a little bit more into it today and talk about it and talk about maybe this halving in terms of how it will affect price. Being a deflationary asset like Litecoin, these things are intended to kind of challenge inflation and kind of keep up with inflation, and ultimately the price is supposed to, in essence, go up. So Litecoin right now, block rewards 12.5. That's going to be knocked down to 6.25 in August. Somewhere in August it's going to happen. You can look up the block height and all that stuff. No reason to really get that specific on this episode, but a couple things I want to talk about. I recommend, guys, if you're interested in Litecoin, to go back and watch the Litecoin Summit 2022. There, you can download the entire thing on YouTube. It's very similar to the Bitcoin Cash conference. You can literally look at the entire conference. The whole Litecoin Summit is online. Charlie Lee's there. Check it out. A lot of people are kind of like, oh well, Charlie B. Lee dumped his bag. Well, yeah, he dumped his bag and the price went up. So, I mean, is the guilt on him, or is the guilt on him not holding? Make your decision up. Everybody bought his bag and the price went up. So, I mean, what does that mean? It's really stupid. Just because he created something doesn't mean he has to hold it. And if he owns it now or if he doesn't own it now, it doesn't really have an effect on what it actually is. I mean, Dogecoin, the developers, they sold their bag too, and I mean, would the price be where it would be at if they didn't sell? Would it have as much hype around as if they didn't sell? And are they regretful of selling? Who knows? Who cares? That's my idea of it. I don't care. So we've got this halving coming up in 148 days. It's coming up. It's going to knock this block reward down, and the idea of this is, and the absolute most interesting thing is the halvings on Litecoin don't really seem to affect the price going into them. I mean, in fact, if we look at the one in August 2015, Litecoin was at roughly what, $2.84. It really didn't change all that much. I mean, it doubled, which is, crazy, up till the months before it went up, and then it went down, and then it went up. But I mean, if you zoom out, it doesn't really seem to have that much of an effect on that little moment in time. So, and we can look at the one in 2019, it's somewhere around here, and the price had already gone up. This was plus token scam, this pump right here. So just be aware, this was that Chinese scam going on in China for plus token, and a lot of people were using Litecoin as an exit. And that's why when BTC Core and all the other coins went down, Litecoin recovered the most and essentially went up the most after that initial BSB, Bitcoin Cash fork. That was this last drop right here on most of the coins. Dash, all of them had incurred a pretty massive drop, but Litecoin was actually one of the coins that went up the most, and it was because of plus token scam. People were using it a lot to get in and out, move money around, that kind of thing. Bitcoin Cash, BSV, a lot of these other coins didn't have as many wallet supports for it on as many exchanges as Litecoin at the time. So I think maybe Bitcoin Cash likely would have been a coin that people would have used to move money in and out of crypto had there been a little bit more wallet support. But you got to remember, guys, a lot of exchanges, not only they didn't even support the fork after, but a lot of exchanges didn't even get Bitcoin Cash support till after the fork. I mean, not all of them were there. So Litecoin was already kind of in line with. I mean, I used Litecoin in 2017 rally because that was one of the first things I noticed when I got into crypto. Is like, okay, I bought Ethereum, I bought Bitcoin on Coinbase, I moved it to Bittrex, hit BTC to trade, and I moved Ethereum, and I'm like, where the fuck did all my money go? I mean, somebody being new into crypto, you don't realize how much you're spending in fees. So I bought Litecoin because that was one of the only coins offered at Coinbase at the time. It was BTC, Litecoin, and Ethereum. ETH, and basically I started using Litecoin to move money around simply because it was faster. I mean, we didn't have Bitcoin Cash, we didn't have some of these other coins supported on exchanges that were being pushed as the forefront of the rally marketing that was going on in 2017. So I simply just realized when I sent Bitcoin to Bittrex and it took almost 24 hours to get, I thought I lost my Bitcoin. I thought I did something wrong. I was like, what the hell? What's going on? And then it finally came through. You know, I think maybe like 2 or 3 hours it was pending, but like it didn't clear until like it was almost 24 hours. I waited on that BTC core to get there. And you know, I probably spent I don't remember what the network fees were at the time, 30, 40 bucks to send, you know, two BTCs or whatever I had of BTC at the time. I don't remember. It wasn't a lot, but nonetheless, I mean, this halving doesn't really seem to affect Litecoin's price, at least in the short term, around the halving date. Now, just because things have been like this in the past does not dictate how things will be this round. I mean, as you see, I got a full Litecoin graph, the farthest one I could find back right here. This is probably legit, because I mean, Litecoin probably wasn't on a lot of exchanges past this point. You know, there might be a couple days, I don't know exactly how far it should go back, but nonetheless, it's here, it's up in front of you guys. Take a look at it, and it looks like, you know, from a broad perspective, Litecoin could be going up soon. I mean, you could say it could go down too, but I mean, it looks like it's been kind of running sideways for the last month. The last 3 months it's up, along with a lot of the other coins. And I think if we see a push for this peer-to-peer payment narrative, which we've been seeing kind of on the back end, even for maxis, Bitcoin maxis, have either been like reverting to this or playing and trying to fuck with the people that are into peer-to-peer payments. But it seems like there's a little bit of discussion on like peer-to-peer payments online, like what was Bitcoin made for, that kind of thing. So as that returns, I still firmly believe that a lot of these peer-to-peer payment cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Monero, Zcash, I think all these could go up potentially. So I mean, it's just speculating. It's literally me just speculating. I could be completely wrong too, but you know, this Litecoin halving is happening this year. Dash halving is happening this year. So we got a couple things going on. I mean, Dash is originally a fork of Litecoin, even though they changed a lot of stuff around. Technically, it is a fork of Litecoin. So, you know, maybe this will be the year for Dash and Litecoin and peer-to-peer payment coins. I would hope that to be the case. And also a cool little fun fact about Litecoin, just because of the fact that Litecoin runs a script algorithm, that actually protects the Dogecoin network. Not that Dogecoin, in my opinion, is the best buy, just because there's no cap on how many coins, and you know, they're flowing in and out constantly and that kind of thing. But Dogecoin is actually protected by Litecoin, by Litecoin mining. And I wasn't aware of this at all until I watched the Litecoin Summit. So I do recommend go back and watch that entire video. It's very informative. Just from a general, you don't have to be a fan of Litecoin, just from a general perspective of somebody being into crypto, I think it's worth taking a look at. And I got the graph pulled up that Charlie Lee had pulled up on the Litecoin Summit, is just the growing amount of user adoption for active Litecoin addresses. And yeah, I mean, this looks kind of sketch when you look at it in linear, but when you look at it at log, let me put it in a log real quick here. I mean, it does seem like it's growing consistently. I mean, we're seeing kind of this pattern of like the same log graph we saw in the beginning of BTC Core, kind of zoomed out like the first couple years of BTC Core. And I mean, yeah, BTC Core has obviously gone up as well. But so is Litecoin, and so it's just kind of worth mentioning that like the active addresses has been growing on Litecoin, which is just in my eyes kind of healthy for the actual community and coin and coin itself. So you know, whether or not this halving will change the game for Litecoin this round, I do not know. I hope it does. I hope we start seeing a revert back to the payment system coins, like I said, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Dash, Monero, simply because we saw this rise. I'm going to pull it up right now, just on this little World Coin Index graph. I'm going to put it against BTC Core on the overlay, or not overlay, just change it to conversion of against BTC Core. And you know, this is what we want. You know, this is what I want, at least. You know, March of 2017, you know, it had been going down against Core, and yeah, I realized Core went up, whatever, but Litecoin, in a matter of months, it just, you know, it was just like right in your face, bam. This is what we need again on not only Litecoin, we need this on Bitcoin Cash, we need this on all the coins that are at top right above you, right there that you're looking at. We need this in all the coins. It's kind of happened on Monero. Monero's been kind of like, you know, gaining on core, it seems like, more than the other ones I just mentioned, which is good for Monero, but it's not good for, you know, altcoins in general just because Monero did it. We need to have this jump. And you know, me saying we need it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but we really need this jump. You know, and again, even Monero hasn't really, I mean, it's still kind of just, it's almost like a fizzled firework. I mean, it's not too impressive. Well, this is impressive right here. We need this kind of growth against BTC Core to remind these maxis, like, yeah, you're holding your crypto forks, you're holding your altcoins that we know you have, because you're obviously, if anybody's dumb enough just to buy BTC Core, you know, I think that's just a dumb philosophy. That's just doesn't make any sense to me, unless the whole thing is just a scam. So I don't think that's the case. I think we do need to see this giant jump on core. You know, this is against BTC Core. We need to have one of these events, one of these years, or one of these 2 years, or one of these even 3 to 4 months of allocated growth against Bitcoin Core on a lot of these coins, peer-to-peer payments, Dash, Monero. Like I said, the list is all at the top. But we need to see this because the unfortunate part is if we aren't getting growing active wallets and we aren't getting this kind of hype around these altcoins, then likely I will, you know, I'm not going to curl over and die and say, party, you know, we're done, you know, BTC has won. But it leads me to believe that the censorship might be it might just have been taken that far. And like, we are going to have a harder time day in, day out to recoup that. And I do not think that's the case. I don't think the exchanges, for one, would let that happen. And since they control pretty much most of the volume now, at the current moment, I don't see that being the case. But at the same time, I would like to reference that we do need to see one of these parabolic jumps against core, and we need to see it on a lot of these altcoins that are mineable, that have scarcity, deflationary economics built into the protocols and built into the fundamental element of the coin, or we're losing. This is almost like a censorship battle we're losing, because the farther we go down on a lot of these coins, and I know that, you know, Dash has actually recovered, you know, in the 3 months, but I mean, it's like, it's not really enough. The 6 months, like the year, you know, whatever, it's kind of just all over the place. And this might be the pattern that these coins take in the meantime. Like, this just might be what these graphs look like if I'm sitting here trying to pick and choose what I want to happen. But now if you zoom out, we might be looking, you know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not selling my bag because I'm scared. I lost that dream a long time ago. But at the same time, if we zoom out later on and we see that there was some kind of parabolic gain on these altcoins, and I'm looking at Dash, I know the video is about Litecoin, but whatever, you know, whatever, it's all kind of in the same realm of perspective. So if we don't see this long term, and I mean long term, like another 5 years, if we see just this very, very fizzled out, and I don't think that this is going to happen. I want to be clear. It's my own personal opinion that this is not going to be the case. I think we will see one of these parabolic jumps, and I always go back to Dash to prove this, simply because Dash goes back, you know, early on. You know, it had a jump here and it had a jump here against core that were pretty impressive. And I'd like to see this happen on Litecoin. I'd like to see this happen on Bitcoin Cash. But just because I'd like to see something happen does not mean at all that it will happen. So, you know, I really firmly believe that it's needed, either artificially or organically. I don't think it can go denounced, because if we just keep getting this downward censorship losing battle, it just leads me to believe that this BTC Core, a group of maxis, group of corporations, group of politicians have pushed it that far. And I'm not saying I'm giving up. I'm just saying, like, we're not getting the sustainable growth that's going to actually bring it in to focus to the average person coming into the space. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm going anywhere. I don't think anything less of any of the coins that I own. You guys know what I own. You know what I like. You know what I use. What I preach about on here. So for me, I don't really care, honestly. From a sense of like me wanting to change my perspective on it. I'm gonna keep my same perspective on it. I'm not gonna, you know, go back to BTC Core and bend over and take it. I'm not gonna do that. But at the same time, for these new people coming in, we need to have this growth against BTC Core on Litecoin, on Dash, on Monero, on all of them, because there has to be some kind of signal from these coins that the dream is still there. The dream is still alive. I mean, I can sit here and try to create the dream all I want, but if we're not getting the growth against Core, and now that Ethereum's basically, my personal opinion, fucking staking BTC, which is just crazy to think. But if we don't get this what's the word here? Yeah, this breakaway, or this distancing itself from this downward trend. I mean, we have to see it. The only coin we've really seen it on, worth noting, I mean, is like Ethereum Classic or you know, Dogecoin. There's been a few. But I'm just saying, like, we need to see it on some of these mineable cryptos in a broader sense to kind of validate that this stuff is, you know, moving in the direction of the average person being able to differentiate the censorship from the use case. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, I hope this video reaches and resonates with everybody well. I mean, I have the best intentions for Dash, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Zcash and all the coins at the top, obviously, because I'm holding them, but you know, that doesn't mean shit. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm still very optimistic on all this stuff, guys, or I wouldn't be sitting here wasting my time making these damn videos. So like the video, dislike the video, let me know your honest thoughts on it. Maybe there's something I missed, but we really need this parabolic gain as some kind of signal that we're moving in the right direction. So have a great day, great night. Jesus Christ, my dog just farted and he's sitting right underneath me. It smells, hit me in the face as I'm trying to wave you. Good God, dude. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Can't breathe, can't see, but hopefully we'll be able to see in the near future some of these price gains. God damn. Woo. Alright guys, I am out.